Hello everyone for day 55 of the I've shortened it to FUFS. It's literally just Frizzyninja Ultimate Fight Series, but I call it FUFS for short. Anyway, roll call, because we have a special guest today. So we have a lovely cup of tea, gorgeous, great. We have 2 giant cups of water, as always. We have not ice cream this morning, but and I'll probably tilt the camera down. 4 Weet-Bix and milk. And does the boy have anything to bring to the roll call? A giant bottle of water. All right, here. A bottle. A bottle of water. Anyway, let's crack straight on into it. No mucking around. We are, as I said, day 55. Out of still about 150, but we're seeing how we go. I actually haven't crunched any numbers recently. Well, I'll be crunching some numbers after this and be able to give an update on where we at. But yeah, that will be it today. Without further ado, let's just get into it now. Do I have any updates since last night? Probably not. I'm just trying to think if I had any crazy dreams. I feel like I did have a crazy dream, and I can't remember for the life of me why it was crazy. Oh my goodness. I feel like it was crazy because, oh no, now as I now think about it, more stuff is coming to me. Dreams are one of those things where if you can try really hard, if you can start trying to fully remember your dreams, remember all the details, write them all down, it's like a muscle. You will find it easier to recall what happens in your dreams most nights. Sort of be able to piece together the timeline of them, because as we know, we have like bajillion different dreams a night, and so just trying to work out, you know, was I lost in the jungle with my maths teacher before I was relaxing at a beach resort, you know, that sort of thing. Or was I in the Horizon Zero Dawn world before I was, before I had accidentally lost all of my stream VODs, so therefore I had to start my Naruto series from the bottom again. That sort of thing. Yeah, but, so I used to do that. But I haven't in recent years, and so now my abilities have waned. But I need to start stretching again. Now, what you're now trying to find out if you're a certain type of person with Weet-Bix or wheat biscuits or whatever it is called in the country. Bix of wheat. 2 types of people. One that loves them not fully soggy, just like still got a bit of crunch. And then the other people love them just full sog. That should be a personality test. Which Weet-Bix eater I am. In fact, actually, they should have a full food textures personality test. So multiple questions that ask, you know, are you a soggy Weet-Bix eater? Are you a mushy peas or not mushy peas? Are you a mashed potato, roast potato, boiled potato, or, God forbid, a raw potato person? Are you a raw tomato or tomato sauce person? You know, all these sorts of things. And then, depending on your food textures palette, determines what kind of person you are, whether you're normal or not. then again, having said that, I know that I would not be normal at all, so I'd be kind of like good to dig my own grave there. But no, actually, no. In fact, I will force the test results to be that my kind of stuff, my preferences are normal, and everyone else's isn't. Even though in reality the opposite is true. What can we start? We'll start about 9:45. So I might go for like an extra 15 mins today. Purely just to get more fights out of the way. Because next week on Wednesday night will be day 56. Day 57, still don't know when it was going to be. Because we're coming up to school holidays, well, not school holidays, Christmas holidays, my ability to stream will be greatly improved. So, or rather technically my ability hasn't actually gone anywhere even now, but I'll have more hours in the day for free time. So I'll most likely be streaming a lot more often. Which means, luckily, I can get way more fights of this out of the way to make up for weeks that I didn't do any, and also to preemptively make up for weeks possibly in the new year or just throughout next year where I can't stream for whatever reason. Because we're not going to get below 7,000 for Christmas. Where we need 300. It won't be before Christmas, but definitely before the end of the year we'll be getting below 7,000. And the thing that's like, it's weird in my mind. So technically halfway is in the 5,000s. 5,610 or something. That's technically halfway. But it feels like it shouldn't be. It feels like the halfway should be in like the 6,000s. So it's like, I feel I should be coming up to halfway, but I'm not. Like, as I keep saying, when it comes to numbers with this whole thing that I'm doing, everything seems small and large all at the same time. Like, I've done 33% of fights, which, well, 35% now actually, which seems, you know, it's a small number comparatively speaking, but also, you know, that means I've done like 3,600 fights. So in that sense it's not, actually I'm doing that 3,800 fights. So in that sense it's not a small number. But then at the same time I've still got 7,000 to go, which is, you know, which is again a big number, but then at the same time it's not actually that big really in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, it's just odd. Kiwa's just really going for it. Lovely jumping. Right, what are we at now? Neji and Kisame. Okay, we're getting a good mix of peeps in this fight. Last time was it was just a Obito bloody central last time. I don't know why I did that double chakra dash. That just completely virtual for where I need to. Lovely. just realised at the end of last night's stream. So at the end of last night's stream, during Travis it was basically I did a boss fight. Did a boss fight, and you know, when I completed it again, it's when we saved and came back. What happened there? And then like as I exited out, I'm like, something in my mind just went, was like beep 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 beep, and I'm like, did I save after that boss fight? I don't think I did. And lo and behold, I didn't. I didn't even save. So at the beginning of the next stream, I could just go in and do it outside of stream, but then I'll want to be like, it was a really good game. Really enjoying it. Hello. I feel like I've eaten too much prefix now. Huh? More? So at the end of the beginning of the next round, I'm going to redo the boss fight. Oh my goodness, it's so tough. Alright, character select. Now we've got Yamato and Sasuke, turn your Sharingan. What? Oh no, jump. Upsetting? They upset the metal. Poor metal. I hope they don't tease it too badly. That was a gorgeous fight. That was a fabulous fight. We are hooning through them today. Because then 338. If I can get to 7,250, that's gonna be my goal. Which I think is very achievable. 88 fights is very achievable. Especially if we're giving ourselves an extra 15 wins. Oh, that's my son. Boy, just this morning he was looking at stuff on Kraken and looking at swords and things. Because obviously there's at the Armageddon exhibit we went to. It was last weekend? The weekend before. Last weekend. You know, had all the swords and things there. And of course you've got you'll have like 4 weapon stores, all completely identical and undifferentiated from each other. Undistinguishable from it. Yeah, indistinguishable from each other. That's the word I'm looking for. So they must be, you know, they'll be getting all their stuff from the same supplier. So on TradeMe, they've got all the exact models there, all for a fraction of the price. So it's almost like, why would you even bother getting them at Armageddon? You just get them at just get them online for half the price, because obviously they would bump up the price for a convention just because, you know, at least they get a little bit of a profit margin, or even more of a profit margin because people will be more likely to spend that money there. But then also at the same time it's funny where they've got like, what's it, Gandalf's sword is the Gandalf's sword, so not even Gandalf's sword. And then you look at the description, like no mention of the name, of the actual name of the sword. No mention of anything of that. And so you kind of wonder, okay, so the people, the store who's made this, they haven't made it because, oh my god, wouldn't it be great to make a replica of Glandring or anything like that? You know, they just say, oh well, you know, what's something that, what's a sword from a movie that we haven't done yet? Oh, the Gandalf sword. Okay, Mr. Overseas production factory, we need one of Gandalf's sword, and then because there's a language barrier there, it gets shipped back as Gandalf sword, because that's how the work order goes into the little workshop that makes them all. So then it just gets shipped back as Gandalf sword, and then they don't have any care enough to just change the name of it a little bit. They just boom, go straight onto the store as Gandalf sword. Utterly disgraceful. They should be ashamed. So no self-respecting Lord of the Rings fan would ever buy from a store that puts no respect into these artifacts of great value. So close yet so far. That's right. Don't think I'm gonna try and do it as much as I'd like. Well, can I get it below 60? There we go. I'll get it above 60, should I say. Okay, now we've got Tamari and Tsuchikage. So, I think I mentioned I think I mentioned on Thursday night or something, that, so I've got my new and improved game database. I've called it Game Tracker in the past, but it's actually just, it's kind of it's a backlog and a list of completed games, so I just call it Game Database. I could probably think of a better name for it, but at the moment it's that at the moment. Anyway, but this new tool that I'm using which actually the pro version runs out in about 10 days, so I'm actually hoping that what I've done so far doesn't break when I come off the pro version. But they're usually good with like saying what's a pro feature or not, so I think I should be alright. Anyway, but I can set up what's called like an interface. So rather than taking you straight to like the spreadsheet-ish kind of thing with all my games in there, I can set up like some separate pages with buttons and filters and all this sort of things, so I can share that with someone. They can go through and have a look at all my bits and bobs, depending on how I've laid it out, without needing to go into the spreadsheet proper. So I'm like, I'm so good. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna finish at the moment, because you can actually put a picture along, or they say it's actually technically assets, so it have to be not just a picture to represent the record. It can be any number of things. Well, obviously it just displays the first asset that you get, that you put in. Therefore, I'm just putting in pictures. But once I finish putting them all in, all of my records, I think I'm down to the S's, halfway through the S's. They've just done the Spyros. But once I've done that, then I can make sure my interface is all did. And then I'm totally going to share it and make it available on the Discord. So for anyone who wants to go in and have a geese, have a look. If it's of any interest to them whatsoever, because it could be like you've got no interest at all, then that's fine. But for anyone who is curious, then they can. And I'm just like, it's just amazing. Honestly, I just love. It's one of my. It's not even a guilty pleasure. It's just full on, just a pleasure. Making like trackers and. If you want, let's say you've got a 20,000 strong Magic the Gathering collection, give them to me, give me a laptop and about a month, probably even less than that actually if it's all I'm doing, but I will have, by the end of it, I'll give you a ring, I'll be like, come and have a look, and on an Excel spreadsheet or whatever kind of spreadsheeting tool you would like, will be all of your Magic the Gathering cards beautifully entered in. Every detail and every column is accurate. And every possible thing you can need to know. I'll have set up pre-filters so you can filter your collection based on some predetermined things that you might, some common things that people might want to filter on, some things like colour, rarity, if you even wanted like market price. Could try and do that, but they didn't know that changes with the wind, so probably that would require too much updating too often. Things like rarity, you can even have total mana cost, anything with death touch, anything with blind and trample, all that sort of goodness. And for a fee of $10, I will be able to do that for you. I would happily do it. I would happily do it for free actually, but I might as well. I might as well get at least some money from it. So I'll say $10. $10 and it's yours. And yeah, so I just love this sort of thing. I do it like I've done it 2 times. Once I did my Magic the Gathering card tracker in a book, physically had everything written down. Don't know why I did it that way. I think it's before I had a laptop. So I did that, and then eventually I did it on Google Sheets because then I wanted to be able to pull it up on my phone because I didn't have my phone was too budget to have the Excel app and run well. So anything that was browser based would be better. And then I decided to move it to Excel just because of the formatting and I could just make it look a bit prettier. And then I think I ended up moving it back to Google Sheets. I think. Because then I think it was a thing of like, oh well, but if I'm just randomly on the street and someone asks me, oh hey, do you have this Magic the Gathering card? I could be like, hold up 1 second while I consult my database. And I pull it all up, and I pull it up on my phone. I mean, obviously that kind of situation would never happen, but if it did, at least I'm prepared. Again. Beans. Right, can I just get a couple of punches? There we go, lovely. Right, Kakuzu and it feels like ages since does it feel like ages? No, actually I've done a Kakuzu fight relatively recently. Who's a character that I don't feel I've hardly played at all recently? Probably like Shikamaru or young Naruto. I was about to say, was he just going to run into the arms? Not quite. I'm close. I'm ever so close. I don't think an ultimate's gonna happen today. So that's okay. And oh, not quite. There we are. Fabulous. Feels like I've got a wisdom tooth, kind of like I can feel a tooth underneath one of my gums. It's really sore. I'm too old for my. When did wisdom teeth stop coming out? There is an age of this always come out. I think it's just because otherwise people complain that it's sore. What's that? I haven't had any wisdom teeth taken out. No. I think it was just numbed them. Oh, right. Oh, I see. It must just be a vestigial body part, where I think it's where a body part that probably served some purpose sometime in humanity's past, but no longer serves a purpose, but yet is still just there. Okay. We've got next Hinata and Beta Sage mode. Yeah, I feel like there's heaps of characters that we just haven't done recently at all. But that, I suppose, is the nature of randomness, isn't it? Dashes and super slow. Oh, God. Dashed into it. You know when you get some aches, and then, or like a part of your body aches, and like sometimes it feels like a, it's gonna sound weird, but like a sick ache. Like you get the kind of ache where it's the kind of feeling you would generally get when you're sick, got like a flu or something, and it's that sort of feeling when it's aching. And then like whereas like other aches are more, oh yeah, no, I'm okay, but it's just my body's just crying. Again, like in my gums at the moment, it's feeling like the kind of pain, yeah, the kind of pain I'll get when I'm sick, if that makes sense. he's just going full on offensive mode. And bang. Okay, so how many fights have we done? We've done something. We've got now Naruto, Rasen, and Shikamaru. Shikamaru is actually a character we haven't done in a while. Night Guy as well, in a sense. Tobio actually is another one. Lovely. Yukito is another one as well. One. That's right, his ultimate jutsu does a hell of a lot of damage. Whereas like some characters, their ultimates are where they do the bulk of their damage. Shikamaru is definitely one of those. It could be like full on right in the red. I'm like, as I think about it, definitely the characters that I enjoy playing as, we're doing less and less and less, which hopefully means that by the end of it, all, we'll be able to play as those characters more and more and more in quick succession. And Touch's just going to be a jerk today. Gorgeous, amazing. Okay, touchy Katsuki now. like about how they've done the fireball jutsu in this game is that different characters, or different characters who do it, there's like the most slightest minuscule variations between them. Like Itachi and Sasuke's are the largest fireballs, and also they cast them the fastest. Whereas characters like Kakashi, Obito, and I think even Madara to some extent. Definitely Obito takes the longest to cast, and their fireballs are little baby ones. Whereas Itachi and Sasuke's are by far the largest, which kind of like I think is in universe a thing as well. They've just got by far the better head, I think, or better chakra control, I think. I mean, Itachi definitely. And even I think Roshi as well actually, he's got, his is super fast, but not as large. Yeah, so it's not just the exact same cast time, exact same damage, exact same size as between everyone who can cast it. I think Water Dragon Jutsu is a little bit different in that it is just the same regardless of who's casting it, I believe. Yeah, but the 5 and the 3 not, which I like. You right, Ben? Yeah. Just been thinking what to do today. You're gonna finish early on Friday? Yeah, do a half day. I'm sure everyone else will be. You should. You should totally do that. Say, oh well, if you don't need me, I'm just gonna take Friday off. So, this week, in terms of work, so my last day is on the Wednesday before our office shuts down. And we have that's right, we have no, not Asuma, Haruka. I keep doing this. I think it's because they've got similar skin tones. We've got a team breakfast on the Wednesday at 7:30, which is early as hell for breakfast. Early as hell for breakfast, and I'd be surprised if there was any places open for that, but hey, anyway. And then we finish on the Wednesday, but I imagine my boss was saying that most people are going to end up taking a half day, so if you want to go home early by all means. But then the boy, his office doesn't close until Friday, but lucky bugger, he gets practically 3 weeks off. So his office doesn't come back up until the 16th of January, whereas my one technically does on the 5th of January, but I'm taking the Thursday and the Friday of that week off anyway, because I'm like, well, I might as well just take the rest of the week. So I'll be back on the Monday the 9th. Oh my god, my nose not gonna stop. Bruh, can you chill? Just let me get in. Just let me kill you, please. Thank you. Yeah, so my work comes back on the 5th, but me technically the 9th. And the boy's got a whole other week. Lucky bastard. And he's only had 2 extra days. We had to work 2 extra days beyond that. I swear. That's right. Next year, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be we're going to be probably taking, well me definitely, I'll be taking extra time off. But we want to go on a trip to the South Island, or trip around the South Island, should I say. Like we live here now, but we've had, can't really say I've actually gone around and actually seen what it has to offer. I love playing as Naruto so much. And his fighting style suits me as well. I love just like high damage, high jutsu damage actually, yeah, because I prefer high jutsu damage than just a normal hand to hand. Better Man and Hanabi. Yeah, and just like then he's fast, he can flit around and it's cool. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Hanabi's gonna be an absolute niche to play as, especially against him. If this guy goes aggressive when I'm playing as Hanabi, it's gonna be a long fight. Long as hell fight. So, yeah, so the boy's gonna be, the boy's gonna take longer. He'll be going up to visitors fan because his dad, I think his dad will have a bit of time off work as well. Oh no, he'll be coming back on the Sunday the 8th, the 9th. Actually, yeah, no, never mind. But then he's got a full free week. What are you gonna do on that third week? Just chill, go fishing, gone fishing for a whole week. So just like fully just like go camping for the whole week. Yeah. You're not doing that without me. You can go on to Pathfinder on your own. Not to places you haven't been before. You wanna do that without me? You wouldn't dare. This is me crying at work. Taking a selfie with my tears on my keyboard. Oh, Sybil, hey, what up? Yes, no, oh yeah, so, I might not have given you the rundown of what I'm doing. What I'm doing is far less, exciting than trying to unlock a character. So, which actually reminds me, I actually need to update that list down the bottom, because it's actually 7,308. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is, and you're going to be like, what the hell, is I had a dream. I have a dream, and that dream is play as, you know, Naruto Stage 6 path and face every single character, and then play as that and face every single character, and then play as that and face every single character, like every character versus every other character. Don't know why it's a dream of mine, but it is. So I'm thought, well, hey, let's do it. So therefore, fully calculated the list of matchups that I need to do, how many fights it's going to be, and it's 11,227 fights, which, as you can see, I've gone quite a substantial way down below that. So yeah, and that is literally what I'm doing. So on Thursdays and Sundays, at least New Zealand time, that's what I do. I've got the big fight list. I randomly generate the fights. The matchups, just so like I'm not just doing the same character ad nauseum. I can just switch it up just a little bit, so I'm playing different characters all the time. And then that's just me. That's all I do. To be honest, like I think it's a testament to my willpower that I've even just haven't just said, okay, no, this is boring, given up, I'm not going to carry on. But no, I'm determined, absolutely determined to get through, to get to 0, which scheduled at the moment to be around October, September next year. The rate I'm going, that obviously I'm trying to push that up as much as possible just by getting as many fights in as I can. But yeah, that's me. That is literally what I'm doing. And yes, no, I'm a huge fan of the series. I'd say if anything has influenced me more during my formative years, it will be Naruto. Like, it has been the mainstay of my life until, well, since like age 8. I love it. I love it so much. And probably unlike a lot of people, or at least, bless you. I've noticed that a lot of fans as well, they tend to like the later stuff more than the earlier stuff. I preferred the earlier Naruto episodes and Naruto Shippuden episodes than the later stuff. But yeah, so that is me, and that is literally what I do on these days when I'm doing these Naruto fights. That is what I'm trying to do. Just trying to get to 0 fights. Today I'm probably, because I sort of time box it to around about 2 hours. I'm sort of averaging around about 80 fights, but today I'm gonna sort of give myself an extra 15 mins. I want to try and get to 7,250 is going to be my goal today. But yeah, so that is the rundown. And then obviously the thing will be, after I hit 0, I don't know, I was thinking, okay, do I play one of the earlier, the PS2 era Naruto games and do the same thing? Whereas the roster of characters is not 108, it's 20. So it'll be, it would take a significantly less amount of time to do. But yeah, but probably what most likely will actually end up happening is, I finish it. I still have to figure out what I'm gonna do to celebrate it. Do I just do a couple of party poppers on stream and then call it a day? But probably most likely what will then happen is, okay, I've got two I say freed up. I don't want to say, so it's not a case of freeing up 2 days, but then I can just carry on, do my other stuff, do my other games. But now can do them on a Thursday and a Sunday. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it is. It's a goal with no real prize at the end. Nothing's gonna happen. It's not as if I'm trying to get into the Guinness World Book of Records or anything, because it's not what's the record? Did the most number of fights in Naruto, but I'm sure probably there might be some guy out there who just, not even doing it for this sort of reason, but just naturally has done more fights. It's kind of a, how do you really quantify what it is? But at least then I can just say, oh yeah, I played every character, just every other character. Yep, that's me. And then you may think, oh, well maybe, playing it so often, you'll become an absolute pro. you'll just be like, you'll be winning the ranked fights, you know, top one in the world with the level of skill you got. I'm like, oh, you would think. But no, my skill level I don't think has increased the slightest. Like they have full on beat fights I've lost. Purely just, yeah, I'm not at all a anyone with any amount of skill. Yeah, but anyway, enough about me. How are you doing today? It's absolutely, is it? Well, it's not raining hard as such. It's just, huh? Oh, it was before? Ah, there you were. So hopefully it's nice and sunny wherever you are. Sin and Sasuke. Oh, that's right. That's right. The World Cup of Upsets sounds like. Yeah, because my boss at work was English. Is English. He came into work when England got knocked out, and he was just, you could tell something had happened over the weekend, and we're like, oh, did they lose? And he's like, no, don't talk to me about it. And we're like, oh, okay. So it kind of became like a taboo subject for the rest of the week. Yeah, because how are France's, how France and Argentina's sort of, ranking, well, I say rankings, how are they sort of, their performances been? Because, I mean, honestly, I'm going to say honestly, when it comes to any kind of sport, I'm just very about every single one. I don't think there's ever a sport where I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe that team, you know, go New Zealand. Like, rugby here is the national sport, so everyone gets crazy about all the rugby things. I'm like, you know, I would laugh if New Zealand didn't even make it to the quarterfinals. That would be the kind of attitude I'd have. But yeah. Yeah. Exactly. You can say we'll I'll have the day off. Yes, exactly. I was gonna say, like, I'm sure there'll be a lot of people leaving work or not even going into work next week. So you'll be like, hey, I'll ride the wave just so, you know, so I can get that. But beyond that, I couldn't care less. Or just for, you know, for one day of the year, I will suddenly become the world's biggest football fan, so I can get all the benefits of being a football fan. And then after that day, football. Ooh. Stay in one place. Goodness. I'd love to know how the AI is scripted in this game. because they're like, they side dash into the wall, and I'm like, what have I done? What has the AI done that's made them do that? It's an illogical thing to do for the AI. So I could sort of make use of the AI's scripting in Tekken 5, where I figured out if you're in Tekken 5, if you I'd always play as Anna, and if you sort of give yourself distance and then you backstep, do a little backstep, the AI will then start running towards you, and then there's a particular move with Anna, I think it's like a forward circle, that she just goes and just whacks them, and then they go flying back again. As they're rolling, then you give them, you know, keep walking back, give them a big distance, and then you do a back step, and then they start running towards you again, and that was literally it. That was how the AI operated. So once you can sort of manipulate that, then you're away. Almost an hour. I do 40 fights in an hour. Should be able to. No, not 40. 48 fights in an hour. Or maybe not. Oh, possibly actually. If I do them fast, I'll be able to. There we go. Come on, I have to get it in. Oh my goodness. Come on. Hoping I'll be able to get in. Hoping I'll be able to get in. There we are. They would have. It's definitely the kind of thing that I even remember. I had a friend who I got into it. I got him into it, and he was I think it was when on the PS2 era, it was all just like side scrolly kind of fighting. That's a poor description of it. You know what I mean. And I remember him saying, "Oh my god," like, because I think I was like, "Oh, come around to my house, and, you know, we'll play it." And so he was expecting a game like this. He wasn't expecting like a side-scrolling thing. And I remember him saying like, "Oh, I thought it was going to be like a thing where you sort of like run around an arena, not the side-scrolling business." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Sorry to disappoint." But yeah, but then obviously these come out, and I think these came out after he moved schools, and I didn't have any interwebs at that point, so I couldn't be like, "Oh my god, hey, remember that 3D Naruto game idea that you totally had? Yeah, it's a thing." But it's definitely like, it's definitely a concept that lends itself well to kind of all different kinds of genre. Like an adventure, action adventure style game would be fabulous, and they've done it ish to varying levels of success. Ish. Like they're kind of like when they've done a style of game where it's a bit more exploring around the world or around the map. Sorry. Excuse me. They kind of they take it to a point, and then it's kind of like, and then the idea stops, and they kind of don't take it to its full potential. So they really need to do like a, I mean, what even game would it be like? You could do like a Zelda type game, or a, maybe not a Zelda type game. You do like a Dragon Age, or like a Dragon Age style, or a Dragon Age Inquisition style, where essentially like you have a hub, and your hub base would be obviously the Leaf Village or whatever. You know, you go on missions, got your little side quests, are your optional missions. I don't know, just it lends itself to that easily. And you just set it, you wouldn't set it in the events of the anime, you would set it either way before or after, even after Boruto. I was just finding Nietzsche, wasn't I? Yeah. True that. Yeah, actually, yeah, everyone thinks of, when they think of like, you know, the best Tekkens and the best Street Fighters and, you know, Dead or Alive, it's never the 3D arena ones. Yeah, good point actually. Because for me personally, the 2D left or right Naruto games are my favourite. Probably because they did the Ultimate Jutsus way better, and part of me thinks that that's because there's no online element to them. Because I think that the reason that the Ultimates here are the way they are is it's just faster, doesn't interrupt gameplay as much. Because the Ultimates in the other games are like full on, they're just like transitions to a whole nother scene. There's like multiple stages, and it's all this big sort of thing. Whereas in here, not so much. Yeah. Yeah, and actually, now that you say that, I'd actually also think that there would be some a bit more technical. I mean, the controls themselves were far less. I mean, there was far less moves you could do, but at the same time, then you had to strategize far more about like your placement. Hold on, wrong Kabuto. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a good way of saying it. I think the thing that the Storm games probably, I just felt like a lot, like it's, even though story-wise it wasn't, like, you never doubled up on what the story covered, but you got the sense that it was doubling up. Like it just felt like it was doubling up, but it actually wasn't. It was, yeah. Whereas the side-scrolling ones weren't, although I think a couple of them did. Yeah. Yes, I am one of those people that is, I'm not the kind of person I'm not a competitive gaming person anyway, for multiple reasons. Yeah, and I'm not gonna train relentlessly for every hour of the day just so I can beat someone online. Yeah, I just prefer, like, I'm a solo gamer, and I just prefer just some basicness. Are the fights fun? Do I feel like a boss? That's pretty much it. That's all I really care about. also I feel like the online fighting component of the Storm games especially is, and this could just be me being absolutely rubbish at certain characters and then just feeling like they just are rubbish generally, is it really truly feels like if you don't pick certain characters, you're really putting yourself at a disadvantage. Like, there are certain characters that, like, everyone will pick one of these, like, 5 characters because they are the only good ones. Like, if I was facing someone and they picked, like, young Choji, why? Like, why did you do that? He's rubbish. You know, that sort of thing. Whereas if you pick, like, one of the Itachis or Minato or even like Sasuke or Naruto, it's just like, okay, you obviously pick them because they're great. Yeah. Yeah, so it's some of the competitive people like, hey, if you like competitiveness, all the more power to you. Go for it. I hope you win lots of matches. But yeah, it's yeah, as you say, but if everyone was like that, it'd be way too intense. And I think it would just take I think it just takes the joy out of it for a second. If everyone was wanting to do PvP, it would just become less and less about the game and enjoying the game for what it is. And it'll become more about, oh no, I need to optimize the hell out of everything I do. Which, I mean, some people get immense joy out of that, but everyone doing that? Yeah. It's kind of like why I stopped playing League of Legends eventually, just because I think it was just the wrong game for me in terms of the player base. There were, you know, I'm not a skilled player by any means. I would never be the one to say, oh yeah, I'm a skilled gamer. I play games for fun. I don't think I ever met anyone who played League of Legends and wasn't like on the intense, we have to win, I'm sorry you can't play ADC because you did this one thing, or if you're support and you accidentally kill one monster, that's it, you ruined the whole game for us. Like, I've had that case where I think I was playing Karma or something, and you know, down the bottom lane, I think I accidentally did the finishing move on one little enemy mob, and I think it might have been one of the bigger ones, but anyway. And then I literally had the whole team saying that I've lost the match for us because of that one thing. And I'm like, you serious right now? We're like 3 minutes in and we've already lost the match? Okay. Sure, make me feel like rubbish. I mean, I can't actually remember if we ended up winning or not, but it was just like, ugh, this is not for me at all. You know, I'm not this kind of person. Yeah. Yeah. And having like a mix of both. Like I think the only genre of game that I don't play is sport games, like the FIFAs and the PGA tennis, no, PGA golf. PGA golf or tennis? Anyway, one of those sorts of ones. I think I don't play them, and I don't play horrors, like a horror survivals, like Resident Evil. No thank you, my good sirs. But like literally every other genre, I'll play and enjoy to some extent. Yeah, it's the games like, you know, Tekken and games like Tekken and Street Fighter. I enjoy when you're in that party kind of environment where you're over at a mate's house and there's like 30 people there, like, right, let's do a Street Fighter tournament. I like that sort of stuff. I like that because it's not, you can actually see the people that you're facing off at. I don't know, it feels nicer. Like, I lose every time, but it's like, I don't mind losing every time because at least, you know, at the end of the day, no one cares. It's not such a big thing. You know, no one's like, oh, here comes Frizzy with her 30 losses that are forever marked on her record, you know. Yeah, and definitely as I've been trying to get through my backlog of games, which is ever growing. I thought I had it down to a manageable size, and then I ended up adding like 15 games to it in like the last few months. They say, you know, what are some tips to avoid like the backlog burnout, and you know they said try and play like different variety or different types of games in between each other. So rather than going from, you know, 80-hour JRPG to 80-hour JRPG to 80-hour JRPG, do like, you know, do your JRPG and then do like a 10-hour family kind of game, or if you've got like a racing game and then you switch that up with a action adventure, a Zelda type sort of thing. So that's been, so I've been trying to do that, and it's working, I'd say, getting far less burnout than I did. I think I ended up at one point, I think I went from like Baldur's Gate 1 to Planescape Torment, and they're, you know, 100-hour CRPGs. And I'm like, oh, this is not happening. So I'm like, well, I'll put Planescape down, and I'll do some other ones, some shorter ones. I think I went through, and that's when I went through like the whole Devil May Cry series, because they were short enough that it wasn't too much of a drag, and I think I ended up doing practically all 5 in the same month. Yeah, and then after that, I can then go back to my longer RPGs and JRPGs. So. Yeah. Second Mizukage. Have done the right Naruto. And I think I remember probably around, I want to say about, was it 5 years ago? No, it feels like longer. Probably starting around, I think 2015? No, after 2017. Yeah, around 2017. I remember there was sort of the discourse in the gaming community at that time was single player games is the future, the multiplayers, the MOBAs, the MMOs, MMOs are kind of single player, but the heavy multiplayer element to it. Is it all PvP? Is it all team-based kind of stuff, like just the single player adventures, the Witcher 3s and the Dragon Ages, they're all dead. And I know that at the time the sentiment was like, yep, they are fully dead. And woe be to anyone who likes single player games, because that era has come to an end. And I'm so glad that it hasn't, because I think it was a fear around that time that, oh yeah, no, these guys, like, it's true. Video game companies, they're going to see that there's more money to be made in the multiplayers and the microtransaction-y people. And then, you know, there's nothing to be made from single player games. And so ever grateful that's not the case. Yeah, exactly. You know, I think a lot of people were saying that these sorts of things, these sort of sentiments, they're all coming from people that they only play one type of game ever in their life. Like they only play, like, let's just say they're a League of Legends, and they play League of Legends, and they play Dota, and they play Overwatch, and they play, like, that's the type of game. And look, if you want to play, if there's just a single type of genre of game that you want to play, and that's all you play, go for it. Not a problem. And if you enjoy it and you're having a good time, then nothing wrong with that at all. But I think because they enjoyed that game, that type of game, you know, and then obviously they've seen the thing about, you know, Blizzard and Treyarch and all them, you know, wanting to make more of them. and then other video game or other companies follow suit. They're like, haha, that must mean that single player games, either those icky single player games that we just have never played in our life ever, you know, they're so dead right now. Yeah, and exactly, and then like, you know, the people who enjoy their trails and enjoy their tales and, you know, Dragon Quests and Dragon Ages and Witches and all that sort of thing. We're like, you know, Ghost of Tsushima's just come out, and that's like a single player game, and it's utterly one of the best things that have ever come out in recent years. But hey, we'll just forget about that sort of thing. Actually, that is actually true about League players. Yeah, it's always that way, and then Dota players are like, oh, let's just give this League of Legends a shot, why don't we? Although I did know, I knew one guy at school he was Dota until death. There is no game ever in the whole world that can beat Dota 2. If you even think about playing another game other than Dota 2, you are good to me. League of Legends, ooh, get that filth away from me. But then obviously the sentiment was shared by all the League players at school is, ooh, Dota, what the hell's that? You'd be more like, belongs in the trash. That sort of thing. There was big flame wars between them. And I'm just kind of in the middle going, I tried League of Legends and I don't like this. I don't like this game. I'm just gonna go off and play Final Fantasy 13. Yeah, that's what I've heard about it as well. Like, I personally can't say I've ever played it personally, but I have heard that yeah, it is a harder game to do. But I mean, the League community has just got a reputation as just being awful, like awful. Like I've experienced it firsthand, kind of how it is. I mean, the one, if I have to say now, if there's one thing I do like about League of Legends, if you take away the community, I like the style of gameplay. I think it's pretty cool. I think the skins look pretty sick, and I do love the splash art. But that's about it. You basically take away every touch point for, you know, dealing with other people. I like all whatever's left. Yeah, and I think I ended up playing, for a bit, like a couple of months, and I even ended up buying like the super duper edition where like you unlock every character ever and ever will come out for, what game was it? Smite. I ended up doing that for a bit. I played Smite, and it was weird. It was kind of cool. Like, I kind of liked it, but I felt that the camera angle, maybe it was just me. I think it was just me being dumb. I felt like the camera angle kind of nerfs you a little bit. But then again, the splash art, like, for me, like with League and Smite, and I think Dota 2 must have it, just like the skin art. I love it so much. It's like, if only I could illustrate like that. It's beautiful. I think like I love like character art as well, more than like landscapes or environment. Like if I was to be an artist, it would be like my dream job. If I had the skill, you know, if I had the skill and the workflow ready and it wasn't a drag, then I would definitely be a character splash art illustrator. That would be my dream. that's kind of cool. Yeah. True. Yeah, they were like, what? You actually have to like think about like mixing things up in your toolset. Ugh, what is this? I just want to press Q and R and no, Q W E and R was the ultimate. The other thing too with League is that, and again, purely could just be my dumbness, is it felt like too many of the champions were just too similar to each other in the sense that there wasn't any real like there wasn't completely different play styles between them all. You know, it was just whereas. And that actually reminds me of, again, all roads lead back to Final Fantasy 14 in my mind, but there's one of the classes, one of the jobs, should I say, the ninja job, they've got 3 hand signs, and depending on which combination of them you click and what order, does something. Although doesn't mean there's like 10 different or 12 different combinations. Whatever. Doesn't mean that the number of combinations of possible outcomes is the same. There's like 4 possible things, but I think it's all based on, I think, the last one that you press. But anyway, yeah, it's a similar thing. So you need to know what you're trying to do before you start clicking away. But it sounds the Invoker stuff is a little bit more. Well, yeah, no, it is more complex, but. Yeah, but it's like it just adds an element of like, okay, we actually have to like use our brains when we're doing this, you know. Yeah, I'd say it's fantastic. It's probably one of the. So I've played. I mean, in terms of MMOs that I played a little bit of World of Warcraft. I played a little bit of. So actually, no, I played actually a decent amount of the Aeon one with the one where its whole selling point was you get wings, but you can't fly as you expect as they pitch it. But anyway, so I played a little bit of those, and I think, and then obviously. Sunk over 1,000 hours into Final Fantasy 14. It's definitely FF14 has struck me as the least like you can get really far without needing to rely on other people, if that makes sense. Like you can get super decent, like the matchmaking and everything is full on, all in service of, if you're just playing by yourself, you can still get to the end without having to network or join guilds. Like, it's the closest MMO I found to like a single player game, which, and I think I wouldn't be surprised if that was, at least when it first became a thing. I mean, most Final Fantasy games before that point were single player games. The Final Fantasy fans who went into FF14 to begin with, they're there for the story, they're there for the music, and they're there for the great single player gameplay. They're not there because it's an MMO, unless they played Final Fantasy 11. So yeah, and that's probably where their focus was, right? Focus is on the story, focus is on, soak in, just do your stuff and just make absolute like bangers of soundtracks. That's your main focus. Yeah, and then okay, so it's an MMO, so we need some kind of party multiplayer element to it, but that's not what their main goal is. So yeah, for people who the whole guilds and clans and party matchmaking, that like while there is definitely stuff there for it, and it is I mean, it is okay. The few times that I've been in a party, I mean, it's nothing stellar, but it's alright. It's serviceable. I mean, for someone like me who I'm here for the single player stuff more than anything. It does its job for helping me get to unlocking other content. But I can understand how, you know, MMO diehards would be like, it's okay. It's not as in depth as what I'm used to, right? And yeah, and the fact that Square Enix, like they've been pretty consistent with their focus, like that's really good. I remember, and it probably because I came into Aeon quite late as well. So I remember, I think I couldn't progress a quest because I needed to go into a dungeon, and I still hadn't quite. I think I was too young. I couldn't quite work out the whole dungeon instance. That sort. I couldn't work out what that meant, like what it kind of meant, really, or how the gameplay was actually meant to go on. But I just remember there was some kind of. All I can remember is that it was in like kind of like volcanic, lava-y, rocky kind of place. And there was a dungeon that I needed to get into, like a fire temple or something. And I remember I couldn't go in because I had to be paired up. I think you had to go in at least pairs. So more the merrier, and I just I was there for I think hours because there's like no one is there doing that thing, and I haven't really had that problem with Final Fantasy. I had it like a little bit at the start with some quests just taking hours and hours to even get into, but I think that's before I started using the party finder, and then from there I was fine. But yeah. It's like they're like, oh, you know, it's the best thing ever, and they're like, okay, but you know, do you A, have anything to compare it against to? B, you know, what's your reasoning beyond just, oh, it's fun? Because when I was studying at uni, that was when we had to, you know, describe like our favourite games and all this sort of thing. We weren't allowed to use, we were banned from using the word fun. We had to describe it in a way that's a bit more detailed, like, you know, critically think about it sort of thing. Yeah, but yeah, so I can understand that. Yeah, so I'm happy to say I actually had played before I'd even heard of it, of FF14. I'd played not a lot, but two MMOs, and I think for me, who didn't particularly want to, like, I think I think just because I didn't have enough time in the day, and Mum and Dad were like, you know, they would at a moment's notice come and say I had to stop playing games, so I couldn't really enjoy a multiplayer element to it. And then I just found that I think I was at a big disadvantage. I felt like I was at a disadvantage because of it. So that's what I've liked FF14. Obviously, also a big helper in that would be because I've got more time in the day. I don't no longer live with my parents, but yeah, that'll be a bit. Yeah. Guy's one of those characters. He's one of those characters that in the early Naruto I just love how he can completely flip flop between, yeah, as you say, completely goofy and like, is this guy for real? Have they really written a character like this? but then like when things get serious, like he's serious and he's amazing. Like definitely one of those characters that like, completely grows on you. And just like the fact that like the whole thing, you know, the friendship and rivalry between him and Kakashi as well, like they're perfectly tied in how many fights, like how many spars they've won or lost, and like that, because you would think, you know, the way that they set up Kakashi's like, oh my god, this guy is just total badass, can just wreck anyone, but then the fact that Guy can like win lots of fights against him, you kind of like, oh, this guy's serious. Yeah, no, he does. Him and Lee definitely stand out. Now, I didn't just play Guy, did I? I played Shikamaru. Completely blanked out. Okay. What the? Sorry, hold on one second. I'm just like playing as B and Fu, but hang on, I've already done them, and then I look up, and then yes, I have already done them. So that means I've incorrectly put in a. That means, okay, 1 second. I'm just gonna just check what file I need to do. So AZ60 is the cell I need to go to. So what's that? That's B and Madara Sage. Completely did the wrong fight before, but that's all right. We're gonna recover. So, no, wrong one. B and Madara Sage. Anyway, yes, Hanabi is the younger sister. Yeah, so Hinata's the oldest of that family. Yeah, and Hanabi's little one, and then Neji is their cousin. Yeah, Neji's the cousin. And he kind of like, he has a little bit of a complex because of it at the start of the whole Naruto miss, and then Naruto, being the amazing man that he is, convinces Neji to let go of your hate and your frustration and be nice. Be a nice person. Pretty much, he full on just like uppercuts him. Although, it's an anime thing more than anything, but it's kind of like when you put a lot of different scenarios that happen in the anime, and like, okay, if this was real life, what would this, you know, this would never happen. Is, you know, like, so they're in like a final of an exam, and so it's a final is basically just all fights between all the finalists. So Naruto's up against Neji. This is in a giant stadium with hundreds of people watching from all over the world as well. They've all come to this village to go watch things. You've got the leaders of the 5 countries all watching this. And then, you know, they're fighting. Naruto and Neji are fighting. And then Naruto's like, hey Neji, why you gotta be such a jerk? And then Neji's like, I'll tell you why. And essentially, he like takes off his headband and he's got this like weird like thingamabob, and it's like a little mark on his head, and it's essentially because my dad was born like 2 seconds after Hinata's dad. We're the way that the Hyuga clan is, they've got what's called the main branch, which is kind of like the heads of the family actually, and then you've got called the side branch, which is kind of like the secondary ones, and there's a little bit of like a thing. So because Neji's dad was born 2 seconds after Hinata's, he is now part of the side branch. And then so the side branch kind of have to be, they're kind of intended to be kind of like the protectors or the wards of the main branch. So Neji has to protect Hinata, but he doesn't want to because she's just weak AF. And then the other thing that the side branch have is they get these little like marks put on their heads. If they get captured by the enemy, who would then want to start like dissecting their bodies to, you know, find out what's the whole Byakugan, like find out how to get the Byakugan. This mark basically activates, and their whole body, like insides of their body, just like liquefy completely, and just they're now like a puddle on the ground. So Neji's got this mark on his head, and he's just like, he just gets so salty because of it, and he's just like grumpy and miserable and, you know, not having a great day. So he's like standing there saying, giving Naruto this whole like backstory. Meanwhile, you've got hundreds of people all in the stands. Probably A, can't hear a single word of it actually, or B, being like, okay, you know, you might get some people like, screw that Hugh clan, they're jerks, you know. You know, it's just so odd. It's just so odd, but it's anime, and can't fault it for that. Yes, you are right. That is literally exactly how every fight goes, and every main, like the big fights, it will be some variation of the Rasengan that he's learned with the power of friendship, and because he is a Merisu, like full on. Like, I'm not even gonna like lie. They have Merisu his ass, or Gary Stu, I think is the male equivalent. He's Merisu into oblivion, that one. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And whereas, you know, the start, and I think I like the beginning of Naruto, I've just liked, I think the part of it felt, I want to say darker, but like not in a, it also felt far more thought out, I think. Like for me, the whole tuning exams arc is, I'll forever say it, and I'll say it till the cows come home, but it is, I think, the best arc ever in any Naruto thing ever. It is fantastic. It is so good. It's like, it's purely like its focus is not on the power of friendship and love and, you know, truth, love in the American way. It is, we're here, we've got all these different ninja, we're gonna show you all of their cool abilities that they can do, how they can cheat on an exam without 20 people all around a room seeing them. Like, that whole thing was amazing. You've then got the Forest of Death, which is even more like, right, we're gonna get Gaara's just gonna go and just murder everyone on his way to the end, like setting that whole thing up really well as like a menace in a sense. It's just, oh, it was so good. And then all the fights, like the preliminaries, the preliminary finals, and then the finals themselves, just like, oh, beautiful. Just so good. It was just so good. And then for me, it was very much, you know, I just love cool fights and cool things, you know. I'm less about the talking and more about the fighting, so it was just a dream. It was just, it's just fight after fight after fight. I love it. And seeing all the cool stuff, like the Lee and Gaara fight, and then you've got the, you know, 10-10 getting absolutely wrecked by Tamari. Then you've got like Shikamaru just showing how insanely intelligent he is on his fight with Tamari. It's just, oh, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. And then you got like Sasuke and Lee having a fight, and then Sasuke copying Lee's, I think it's the Hidden Lotus, I think, and then using that in his fight with that person from the Sound Village. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's amazing. It is amazing. Like I said, the more I talk about it now, the more I'm just like, I'll just go and just like rewatch all of that. There we go, lovely. Because then kind of like from that point on, I mean the stuff leading up to the Rasengan was okay, like, you know, introducing Itachi into the story in a bigger way. Yeah, and it just kind of, I just felt as the series went on and on and on, I just felt things felt more rushed. Or, well, not necessarily rushed, but like there are some truly hidden gems. There are some gems of arcs, like the whole Pain arc was great, was fantastic. The one time I actually cared about Jiraiya. But then yeah, it just felt very... Naruto became a Deus Ex Machina in a way. Oh, okay, we're fighting, you know, Hidan and Kakuzu, but we need help from Naruto and Kakashi. But then, oh no, we need help from Kakashi, but then not even Kakashi can help, so then Naruto has to come in as a Deus Ex Machina and, you know, Rasen Shuriken Kakuzu, so he's dead. I'm glad that they didn't then kill Hidan the same way, because I'm glad that it was Shikamaru that they kept that bit. But yeah, and then of course then Pain just completely destroys the entire village. Not even a whole village can beat Pain. And then Naruto comes in, Deus Ex Machina, Seven Tails, you know, Fox. It's just like he just became a device to, when everyone else can't do it, I'll just bring in Naruto and he'll show you, and you like yet another thing that he's learned. And it's it just became a little bit like, let the other characters shine. Yeah. Yes, and that's something is definitely, I've noticed, is prevalent in the manga and the manga thing is the, you know, like imagine you having to I think it's every week or every fortnight, you have to have a new chapter out. Like, you have to have a new chapter out. And as a mangaka, if you're having to write and draw everything, I mean, I'm sure some of them have teams of artists as well, but then, you know, you need to make sure that the art style's consistent. But yeah, you need to be pumping the stuff out all the time. You'd be just, oh god, I need to get something out, so your ideas aren't fully fleshed out. And also I noticed that if you compare the art styles, like I know art style can develop over time and change and whatever, you know, there's a lot of artists that I like that you could just see differences in their art, start and bottom. Even just, not necessarily in terms of skill, quality, but just how they're drawing. But if you compare like the OG Naruto to Naruto, like the latest Naruto Shippuden stuff, the level of detail in the drawings is not there anymore. Like the face, we're just going to literally, I'm just drawing the shape of the face, the eyes, the nose, and mouth, and that's it. Whereas with others, you'd get all the shading, you'd get, you'd get far more lines in everything, and it just felt like, yeah, exactly, like they're rushed, and they've got no time to really make the drawings amazing, really put thought into the writing, and they kind of just, yeah, and that's the thing, like, you can't fault the mangakas to a point. You can't fault them for that, because you gotta do what you gotta do in the time that you're given. Yeah. To TBH, when it comes to Boruto, I mean, I know, I can't, like, hand on heart, I can't say I've seen every episode. I know some characters, I can't really say I know many others. It's something that I kind of like, I was sort of the same. I finished Shippuden, because I have to finish Shippuden, you know, but then I'm like, okay, I'm kind of like, I'm good. Yeah. Like, I'm good from here on out. I'm happy with my thing. I'm happy with my OG Naruto. I don't need anything else. Like, there are some fights in Boruto that I've seen that I'm like, okay, this is good. This is some good stuff. But just generally happy with my other things, yeah. Yeah, And I'm happy it was you know, OG Naruto as well that made it mainstream. Because if it was like, you know, if they just jumped straight to Shippuden, then it's, yeah. I think if they'd started with Shippuden, it would have been a lot less popular. I think it's a credit to the quality that the OG Naruto was, and why it became so popular. I want to say, like, early 2000s anime was actually pretty good. I know that I know that a lot of people will well, actually I don't actually know the general consensus, but I've always found Shaman King was my after school 3 o'clock on a weekday. Shaman King was, I think would that be my first anime? I think it might have actually been, or at least the first anime that I like fully like religiously watched. So I mean, Dragon Ball Z, I was like, One Piece, I just remember looking at it and like, oh, that looks weird, and then just stayed away. Although I've seen more in recent years, I'm like, okay, no, this is actually good. And then, yeah, but I think Shaman King was the first one. I'm like, ooh, I like this a lot. But then a lot of people are like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, it's fantastic. And, you know, and then I read the manga in high school, and I'm like, oh good golly damn. They full on changed the ending in the anime to make it less dark. To make it that the villain didn't win. It was like, that was a surprise. I didn't even expect the first didn't even expect the ending to change. Oh, Detective Kendachi, I've heard of that. I can't say that I've seen it, but I'm just gonna have a quick squiz. 1 second. Detective Kendachi. Oh no, I have seen that. I recognise it quite strongly. I recognise it. I think I recognise definitely the I think it's like the combo of the suit and the hairstyle. Totally white. Oh, and I do love me some mysteries, some crime mysteries. I might give it a space. I might add it to the list. Oh yeah. I mean, I know that because I haven't. There's Demon Slayer's one that I've like keep meaning to start watching, but I never do. But I just find it. I think, yeah, early 2000s, late 90s, that sort of anime, I just find kind of like just, I feel in my soul that it's just generally better than anything than stuff nowadays. At least in terms of writing, anyway. Obviously, I've seen some stuff from Demon Slayer, like my younger sister was saying, oh my god, you have to watch it, it looks amazing. Yeah, but I think writing in those early days is better. And again, probably because they had more time. They were given more time to actually write something proper. Okay, I might actually update the list after these two fights, because I realise I haven't actually updated the list in a long time. Oh, I like that. I like that. I appreciate that. Yeah, because I was watching a it's interesting you said it too, because I was watching a thing recently. Actually, it's one of those videos I keep watching, but it was the BBC Sherlock TV show, and this guy was talking about why it's rubbish, and just talking about like the whole Sherlock Holmes thing in general, and he was saying that the problem is that the problem with that show is it's a crime thing where the detective knows, he's piecing it all together in his mind and he's making the connections, but they don't actually tell you what it is. And then he's like, and then he runs off and everyone's just like, what is it? He's like, I figured it out. And you're like, okay. And then you have to wait till he explains it all at the end. Whereas, like kind of like the whole point of the Sherlock Holmes thing was that as they're solving it, the kind of like the audience representatives are, they're giving you clues so people watching or people reading or whatever can start to piece it out themselves. Like, you want the audience to be actively participating in the solving, and then Sherlock Holmes is making the connections. He's explaining it in a way that makes sense, and so you kind of feel that you feel smarter in a sense because you're like, oh, I now know that if you're trying to find a safe room in a thing, you just drop a marble on the floor and it will roll down to a wall, because safe rooms obviously tend to be quite heavy and therefore will weigh this floor down. Stuff like that. That's good. I like that. I like that. And I don't mind dark crime stuff. Excuse me. Right, what am I doing? I'm updating the list. It's down to 7,266. Oh my goodness. Oh my gracious. Okay. Rin and Zabuza. And things that are given time to breathe as well. It's like me and Mum's Saturday afternoon ritual was we'd make a giant bowl of cauliflower and broccoli cheese. We'd have giant bowls each, and then she would do knitting and I would do cross stitching, and we would have Midsummer Murders or Inspector Morse or one of those English crime detective sort of things that are like 2.5 hours long. That was us, because we love long form detective things, long form detective rather than just the American one and done in half an hour. It's all guns and action by the end of it. Yeah, so no, that's good. I like the thing that conduct thing is more along the lines of things I like. Yeah. Oh, not a problem. Catch some Zeds, make sure you get a lovely, and I hope you have a lovely rested sleep as well. Of course, thank you for joining. Catch you next time. I'll be most likely, I'll be doing streams like a day earlier next week, but yeah, no, I'll catch you then. Have a fabulous one, and thank you for joining. What was I playing as? What about you, Ben? Do you like detective stuff? Not really. You don't really watch them? I'm feeling like I want to play all the Ace Attorney games again now. Because they're amazing. Actually, no, yeah, when I was, because as I'm going through my game tracker, when I'm adding all the pictures and like all the games that I've, played years and years and years ago, and I'm like going on Google Images and seeing all the images, I'm just like, oh my god, I want to play this again now, I need to like dig it up. Yeah, but like a lot of them were like on a DS emulator, so I've got to, you know, and I don't think I'd be able to get them elsewhere otherwise. I don't think they've been ported over, but I'm just like, oh my god, I just need to play these. I need to play these all. I think Japan just does like murder mysteries so well. Like that what's it, that great Ace Attorney thing, the spin-off series that I played like last year or the year before. That was last year. That was like completely unexpected but so good. Like Japan's really good with the whole like super complex and convoluted, but everything has a point and everything has like a reason for being there, and even though it might not like surface itself until 40 hours later, like it does, and it's just it was amazing. It was so good. Yeah. It's kind of like it's like when people say, what are those games? If there was a game they'd completely scrub your memory of and then play again for the first time, what would it be? Or even top 3 games. Yeah. Yeah. Would it be like one of the God of Wars or? Red Dead 2? Because I think mine, because I'm tossing up between Skyrim or Oblivion. About which one I'd rather scrub. I'm feeling... Oh, I don't even know. So I'm just trying to remember, like, which one do they get a sense of wonder at? I think it'll be Skyrim. There's something about going down that road, seeing the standing stones, going into a river with something about that. It's just can't be replicated ever again. Maybe Skyrim. Probably. Probably Dragon Quest 8. But then again, my first thing with that game was watching Dad play it. Oh no, actually no, I'll scrub my memory of it and I'll play it again, yes. Dragon Quest 8, Skyrim, and probably... I don't even know. Maybe one of the Zeldas? Like Breath of the Wild or something? Maybe also one of the Final Fantasy. Oh no, now I want to do like top 5. But then it's all just going to be just like my favourite games list. I think it's just going to end up just being I'm just listing off like my top 5. What was that? Ooh. Like that snowy cottage. Yes. Okay, so after this fight we've got 10 fights left to do. Yes. Oh, what do you want for lunch? Eggs on toast or something. Reanimation. I want to try and finish adding all my pictures to my gummy tracker today. Yeah, it's exciting. I'm gonna have this could be so amazing. There's like all the things I could do with it. I can set it up to annoy me to send emails. I can set up an automation thing, so when I mark a game as complete, you can get an email that says, "Oh my god, I finished this game," and then you'll get an email every time I do that. Wouldn't that be great? You're good? I'ma do it. Gonna what? Then I'll just, like, every week or so I'll just change like the heading of it, so it's like a different time every time. Really? Sweet Touchy's AI is just permanently set to difficult. Do that. Just thinking, just looking at the fight. Oh, the fight's going up. This should be alright, actually. Should be fast ones. It should be fast ones. These should be, I'll say should be fast fights. I say, they're going to be fast fights, they're not anime. Then, Shikamaru, and then who are the ones after this? Karin and young Shino. And down. Lovely. Right. Karin. And Yoshino. Lovely. Tradition, my buddy. I never mind. There we go, lovely. Young Shino, and then after this one, Mifune and young Ino, and then Nagato and third Rokage. Okay. Please, Lord, don't jinx it, but it should be the next 4 fights after this. I'm expecting this one to take ages, purely because it's young Shino. But the next 4 should be fast. Say that was going to be way too much kill. And there we go. Love. Okay. Mifune and Yukino. she not using substitution? She could have used all her substitutions, but she didn't. But she did. Okay, no. What you doing? Oh. Thank you. I'm a character. What's my character? Okay. Well, where was the village case? It wasn't there. I love you. Oh, it was village good? Yeah. Did you enjoy it more than the Biohazard one, or? Were they? Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It doesn't go under. Doesn't go with the other Final Fantasy 7s. No, it's like Crisis 4. If it was Final Fantasy 7 Crisis 4 Reunion, then it would go under Final Fantasies, but it's not. It'll be really interesting to learn if because there was another game in the Final Fantasy 7 called like The Dirge of Cerberus, and it was almost like a first person shooter kind of game. It was weird. It's kind of like the black sheep of the franchise. And then like everyone wishes it didn't exist, but it does. And so everyone's wondering, oh my god, because they've remade Crisis 4 before Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, are they going to remake Dirge of Cerberus in between the second and third games? So everyone's now worried, apparently. That looks like it. I never played Dirge of Cerberus, so I'm good. Right, I've just got one more fight to do. Okay, last fight of the day. And this should be, because third rate card game tends to be fast fights. This is damage output is insane. And I don't think his agnostic is his ultimate either. Jubbly. Okay. Let's do those fights faster than I thought. Cool. Now, do I do one more fight just to bring it up to 90? No, I'll be smart. Oh, no, actually no. I'm not gonna be smart today. I'll do two more fights just to bring it up to a nice clean number. Another Sage. Because why not? Why not? Why do you like stop blocking mid-combo? wooden spoon. Okay, right, last fight now. Proper last fight. Loving it. I'm living it. I live. Oh, fabulous. Look at that. Okay, right. Now, so, where are we at? We're at 7,248. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Did 90 fights today. Lovely. Okie dokie. So, I will call it a day there. Now, next week, I'll be doing day 56 on New Zealand time, Wednesday night. And then Thursday's going to be Crisis Core. Friday will be Trials of Cold Steel. Day 57 might then be the following Tuesday. But we'll see how we go. But no, thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you have a fabulous morning, afternoon, or night, ever you is in the world today. I will catch you on the next one. Stay rested, stay hydrated, and be well. Have a good one, and ciao!